was trying to make up for the damage issues in his team, which was something they very much
If
had.
you're a position 5 trying to make up for the damage issues
Exactly.
of your team, there's something wrong.
Yeah, not sure about that one. All right, well, we do have the draft available for game number 2, so let's waste no time in jumping into this one. What do you think? Is this going to be... Oh, man, we're really into this draft. Okay.
Very quickly.
So we have a Clinks and an Omnilite for T1, and we have a Bat Rider and a Monkey King for LGD. You guys surprised to see this Omnilite getting through again for T1?
Kind of, and not really. There's just too many good heroes right now. Especially because people are still experimenting. So whatever like comes out and it dominates a game, you feel like, oh my god, it's so OP. Like you can't think about every single one of them. And definitely in the last game, I felt like Shadow Demon had more impact than Omni in a lot of ways. So they're definitely just gonna get rid of that. Keeper of the Light, we know why. It's just so good too. And for me, the biggest thing in this draft that's a big change is them getting Bat Rider on LGD side. That hero, man, we saw 9 play this hero. It just looked insane.
Just looks really, really strong. And I wouldn't even mind seeing something like a Silencer again for PSG.LGD. Now with the Bat Rider. I think that's an insane combo. And when you're playing versus Omni Knight, it can be really good. If you buy yourself something like a Ghost, just so you don't die from Clinks as he finds you somewhere.
10 seconds remaining.
You don't have to contribute much. Just press that global when Bat Rider goes in with the lasso, and you should already be having a pretty decent team fight on your side. But there you go. T1 realizes it. They ban it out.
Makes sense. Yep, absolutely.
Now, PSG.LGD probably with a co-op, maybe a Storm Spirit here to ban out. Invoker instead. Sure.
I think Storm is a brilliant ban because it actually counters both Bat and the Monkey. It's hard for you to jump onto trees and get away because Storm can just zip in and break it. And Bat Rider always been a counter. Like in the mid lane, you can always drop the Remnants if the Bat Rider tries to go over you, do damage to him when he's diving. Or in the mid-late game, just catch him while the Bat's split pushing with his Boots of Travels. Very good hero with Omni as well. You know, you got that status resistance on your Storm and they can't stun you.
Yeah, just overall looks pretty solid. I'm not sure what else you can go for to pick now versus the Bat, right? To consider a higher threat, let's put it that way, than a Storm is. I think that should really be their next ban. Meanwhile,
it's just such a value pick.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for T1, it's just a bane because they don't really worry about anything. Usually, teams ban out PL, right? Versus when they're picking Clinks, they ban out PL. These illusion-based heroes, we've seen that yesterday as well. But you already see the Monkey King, and you're kind of guessing, I guess, that it's Ame again, or else you would be focusing on those scores.
5 seconds remaining.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, because Zinq did play it yesterday, right? So not only yesterday, multiple times. So they can put the 4 Monkey.
China staple for sure.
Oh, please let me see a Storm right here. Okay, not yet. They're holding on to it still. But Elder Titan too is like it gets hard countered by Storm Spirit. Like you can't stun him. He's gonna want to zip into the backlines and get on top of you too. And this Lion pickup, I think the idea behind the Lion here is if they need to, they can put the Lion in the safe lane if the Bat Rider's going off lane, and it's really good. Just being able to have the 2 disables against Bat, you can do a lot of damage to him or just stun him under your tower, which is also nice. But you have Omni Knight, like you have 2 different ways that you can deal with this hero now, regardless of where the Bat Rider goes.
Lina instead.
Oh, okay. I would actually prefer this because if you go Storm, can't you? Like, isn't Monkey a hard counter Storm at mid, or at least historically?
I'm not sure really if you can look at it that way. I mean, overall, Storm would be good. Like, look, even this Nature's Prophet, this game looks like a perfect Storm game. But they went for Alina instead, and I'm not sure how T1 feels about it, but I don't like it nearly as much as I would have liked. Storm.
I think the idea behind the Lina is that they have no lane shove on T1, and they don't want to be overwhelmed with just heroes pushing out lanes and just running at you nonstop while your heroes are like slowly trying to get creep waves out. if you have a Storm versus a Lina, right? And with Lina mid, like you can still spam the Batrider down, make them low health so they can't dive you. So it's a different kind of gameplay. I feel like they think this hero will make their lineup more cohesive than a Storm would.
But it doesn't, does it? Like in my opinion, the way I see it, it kind of does the same job that Klinks would do, and especially now Klinks can shove waves as well with his barrage. Storm Spirit could have done the same job of shoving
I
waves
agree
out.
with you.
I'm just
This is a beautiful Storm game for sure. Unless you know they like put Lina off lane for Cuckoo and get a Storm right now.
Theben, you've changed, man. You've changed. I remember OGA China, Church of Lina, you and Mira going on your tri-rays, trying to get people to sign up to your Church of Lina. Now look at you.
The church. I do like these two picks now with Mars though, right? Like Mars is a rare hero that makes everything kind of compact on the side of T1. They really needed to find the right offlaner, and Mars was an obvious pick, I would even say. Now you have this front line that can protect Lina and Klinks while they do their business. Another one was Void, but you couldn't really fit the Void in your draft, so I like it.
Yeah, definitely the... Oh, so it is going to be a Monkey King support here with a Spectre carry. And yeah, I think the Mars makes so much more sense now too. Like, just to... like, if the Monkey was going to be the carry, then Mars as a melee hero would have done the best against it. Because you can always just spear him away. Other options to have someone as a body for your team probably would have got punished by a Monkey carry.
All right, well, these are our drafts. These are our 5 heroes for each team. I feel like, we were favoring T1 early on, but they took it in a bit of an odd direction. Are we still thinking it's going to be a T1 series, or do you think LGD is going to even the odds?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with LGD this game for sure. Like the last game I went with them for the memes. This time around, I don't know. What did you say? Your second head, your second heart, and whatnot.
Brain.
The brain.
What have you got a second of?
For me, it's pointing in PSG.LGD's direction. You have so many ways of cutting into these backlines now with Spectre, with Nature's Prophet TPing behind Lina on mid lane, with Batrider stomping and going in. It can be difficult for T1 though.
So Lina needs heroes, like she needs to be able to tank through stuff, but this game, there's a Batrider lasso into a Spectre haunt and an NP like TP in or an ultimate. This looks like a hard game for T1. I think they had some good things going in game 1 in terms of the draft. This one I don't like as much, and I think LGD are like, guys, we ain't losing this. So yeah, I'm gonna go with LGD. Their draft looks damn good this time around.
I'll go with T1. I'm not a big fan of Spectre right now, and I love that hero. Omni compared to the dagger now as well. There's a few things which I think lean it in their favor a little bit. I mean, I will edge towards T1, but guys, why haven't we do have the game paused, so I can ask you this question. Why have we been seeing a drop-off in the Spectre recently?
Just some other heroes are a little bit more popular, but it's the cycle of life in this game, right? Like you get the meta heroes, then suddenly these heroes that aren't really meta come back because they might be strong versus certain ones. And here you go. That's exactly why the Spectre was picked. You not only do you have a way of getting on top of Lina, but also the Klinks.
Yeah, and carries like to farm, and that hero doesn't farm as fast as all these other heroes that are able to be picked right now. Like the more net worth you can amass, the quicker you can get into engagement. Spectre kind of needs to have a decent laning stage and have impact with that haunt. This game, I think, though, the Spectre is going to have a lot of impact with haunt because you can provide vision, and then the Wrath of Nature is going to hit everybody, and that's so much damage right there.
Well, the game is now underway, which means we can throw it over to our casters. And for our first caster, if he started on OnlyFans, I'd probably subscribe. It's B-Cop. And joining him, if he started on OnlyFans, well, he'd probably be charged for crimes against humanity. It's MoFarah.
Jeez. All right. Oh.
So how much am I charging? How much do you think
I feel personally attacked. B-Cup.
I feel personally built up. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel great.
I'm willing to take the flak to build you up, B-Cup. It's fine.
Yeah. Build me up, Buttercup. Okay. All right. Are we watching this? Are we watching the Monkey King going into the base? He's He's in looking for couriers.
I think they're heading back. They've seen him.
He was looking for couriers.
Yeah, it's a good play though if you can get away with it. I think good teams against the Monkey King though will always check to see if he's in the base. Really looking forward to seeing how the laning stage plays out, especially in this top lane. I think for T1, the Clinks on the Omni I think might struggle a little bit. Obviously, Faith Bian. This Nature's Prophet against Clinks matchup isn't as good as it used to be. Obviously, you have the AoE now on the Clinks to be able to help clear trees. But I think having this Monkey King that can play against the Omni Knight and like the side of the lane almost. I don't know how Omni Knight's supposed to like trade in that lane ever. Mm-hmm. This Monkey King would just he has 6 armor, like Jingu to be able to trade hits at level 1. It'd be interesting to see how T1 decides to try and play that lane.
See how this goes. Back into that courier form. Moving real quick. I do think Whitemon spotted him though. They'll get through around the back, get the Jingu going. Alright, finally gets the Jingu off. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he is, but at the same time, Clinks isn't CSing, right? So it's kind of the trade-off.
Still trying to just use this Jingu. There was one courier that came over, and that was Omni Knight's courier. But Y's gonna lose his courier, so Zephyr will get the kill on that one. So the first courier to go down is an LGD courier, despite the aggression on couriers from LGD. And again, Jingu goes off, and Whitemon has to just stand there and kind of eat it. He's got the Heavenly Grace, but that's about it.
I love that they're pressuring under the tower here as well. They Jinky could have moved that creep wave round behind, right, and they could have looked to try and bring the lane back. That they want to keep the pressure up. Faithbian going to be more than happy with how this lane's going so far. How's mid lane going? Because I feel like this Batrider should have a bit of a difficult time. We've seen some good Batrider performances so far this tournament, but the lane against the Lina not easy.
It's got 5 stacks of the sticky napalm, and see if he can put another one on. Ooh. Now starting all over again. But we've seen it. We saw 9 kind of able to dive these towers to get these kills. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen in a matchup like this. Carl on this Lina should be able to really keep his distance from Jowade on this Batrider.
The reason this matchup's good for Batrider isn't because of the laning stage, though, right? Like the panel we're talking about in the game later on, you find this really easy entrance into the backline of like the Lina and the Clinks because you have the Haunt Vision.
Right.
And I think LGD's lineup in general, they have this really good like gank potential, right? Like especially if Monkey King finds anybody on the map with this like really high mobility, they have Batrider that's going to have BOTs, they've got Haunt, they've got the teleport from the Prophet. There's so many like ways of them just getting on top of heroes.
And you could definitely go as pairings too, and have the Monkey King in the trees, pair him up, like you said, with the Spectre, or just really have him there with the Nature's Prophet. I don't know if you need much more than that. Just got to make sure that the Nature's Prophet doesn't Nature's Call the tree that Monkey King's standing on.
Oh, I can't wait to see that this game, actually.
Oh, pops the Jingu on Whitemon, then throws the Balance Strike at 23, doing a good amount of damage. Immediately, the Heavenly Grace is placed on the Clinks, but that is not a good feeling if you're this Clinks up here.
He's getting some CS, though. He's doing okay. Especially considering how the lane's gone in general for them. But this level 2 Jingu now, yeah, lane does get very difficult. But I think T1, considering how this lane could have gone, they'll be more than happy.
Are these tree and cactuses with scarves on?
I never thought I'd hear a question like that, but
They
look like it, don't they?
I don't really know what's going on. Like, aren't cactuses in the desert? Wouldn't that be hot? Wouldn't you just be hotter in a scarf?
Stop questioning the frog, alright?
I'm done. I swear. Zephyr coming around over towards mid, maybe looking to try and get a kill here on to Jowade.
with the Lina coming up to the level 6 mark, I'd assume as well.
I already spotted him though with that
Probably
ward.
about level 5.5, but yeah. So they know
And
there's
now
a
they
ward
know he
there.
has vision. Yeah.
And I love that as soon as they see the line, this bot lane, they try and like punish this Mars, right? They know that he doesn't have a huge amount of help, so.
Actually pressuring top as well. They've got a sentry down. They'll take out the dire sentry. 23 turns around for a second. They are pushing Whitemon and 23 kind of to the edge on this lane and making it very difficult for them to stay. That being said, still 23 is CSing pretty well.
He's trying to come back around again to get back to the lane because he doesn't want to miss out on the XP, but they see him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's really difficult to get on top of him though.
Turret has been
Oh,
They've
no
dusted
quelling
him
on
up.
Whitemon.
Yeah, and he's heavily graced himself. Jingyu taking a lot of damage, gets the Jingu off. Boundless Strike needs to be careful for the Clinks' damage. Carl, meanwhile, gets first blood on Zhao Wei while there's 2 kills up towards top. Faith Beyond will gonna get a second. And 23, one more shot, will get run down by Faith Beyond. A TP,
Oh, the
in
TP.
from Zephyr. Treant's body blocking. And good Sprout.
He has a TP in 5 seconds on the Prophet to get back to base.
Zephyr has Hex, but he won't see him.
He doesn't know he's there, especially at night time. Lack of vision. Great kill for the Lina though onto the Batrider. If you look at the difference in CS between these two heroes though, this Batrider is not having fun whatsoever. And if LGD, it's not the end of the world because they have this position 3 in the Nature's Prophet that's kind of like a semi-core, right? Like it can scale well going into the late game. So the Batrider is kind of like the POS 3 in that sense, and we've seen that a few times from Zhao Wei.
Oh,
You know, we saw him play Underlord yesterday as well.
more Quelling Blade action, and he knew exactly what tree Jingyu is on.
Yeah, it's important that you build these Quelling Blades against the Prophet in particular though. The Monkey King kind of just helps
Ooh.
out a little bit.
Oh, he knows. Does he know? Oh,
That was close. They have Innocence here as well. They want to go on 23 Savage.
yeah, they want to get the sweep if they could slow him down with the Primal Spring. And now they've got the Sprout, but he's also got that Quelling Blade. They'll grab the
Dire's turret has
Treants.
been killed.
I think they're trying to force this line to come and have to play
Radiant's
top.
middle tower is under attack.
Because what they really want is the Spectre to just be able to 1v1 on Mars, right? Oh my god, look at this Lina's net worth. Jesus.
Zhao Wei's really struggled mid in terms of keeping up, but he's always kind of found a way to make up for it in some shape or form.
Jin
Another
Q?
Quelling Blade shot onto the tree that Jin Q is on. And with Cuckoo here, this is looking like certain death. Oh, Arena,
Oh, they have to-
unnecessary, but
And this is what I'm saying, that the Spectre now gets the free farm bot lane, right? Like, as long as the Spectre's having a good time, I think LGD will be okay. And the fact that, yeah, they're getting Arena out of it as well is more than good enough. They're
pretty
trying to deny the
unnecessary
tower.
Arena too.
Bottom tower.
Oh, Faith Man got it! Yeah, they just want to make sure they get the kill, though. I don't mind it too much. Shavit making stacks for himself.
Always nice to get yourself some stacks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We talked about the Batrider having a rough time, but 23 Savage has still got less net worth than him because of this pressure that's been coming out on the top lane so much.
No, he doesn't have a tower to farm under. They're going to smoke up, though, and look to get something here. Zhao Wei
I
in the trees.
I think Cuckoo saw the stacks that were being made for the Batrider, and they wanted to make a smoke to try and contest them, but they're ever so slightly too late because Shavit's already just taken them. And they're looking for the Lina here in the mid lane.
Oh, Carl getting run down. They're going to bring over Faith Beyond, unneeded. I mean, it's got that haunt used. They get a kill, and now they've got a lot of heroes here to go and take this mid-tier 1.
Dire's middle tower is
No,
under
everybody's
attack.
all of a sudden is collapsing. Shavit sees the Mars TP as well.
Dire's structures are fortified.
A little bit of a late sleep. I don't think this is going to matter, though. They all kind of back off the tower and missing that sleep.
God, the trees.
I don't think they were going to go for a kill anyway.
They do not deal with these trees well at all. They're really struggling with the wave clear. Oh, he's going Echo Saber on the Spectre. Okay. I was wondering whether he might go Blade Mail or something this game, especially for the armor. But going Echo Saber instead, which is more than fine. Is there a carry hero that hasn't built Echo Saber yet, actually? That's probably the question we should ask. Like a melee hero.
I was just going to say Clinks, but now you put it only to melee heroes and you make your question unanswerable. They'll get the kill on a Zephyr, they'll take him out. Y gets credit for that one as he's hitting for an extra 40, so 103 total.
It feels like T1 are losing more and more of the map, right? They don't really have anywhere to play with. These trees are giving so much vision, giving information. Like Jinkyu's jumping around the map, finding loads of information as well. And they're just finding all these pickoffs, and T1 aren't really ready to fight yet. They need the level 6s on their supports, I think, to really have that big game impact and make kills happen on the map.
Wheels up into the air with the LSA. They've got the Arena, Laguna Blade. They'll get the kill on a Zhao Wave. The sweep, though. Emily Grace will wake him up. Whitemon being the alarm clock that tells Cuckoo it's time for school.
Got the LSA off before the start.
Boundless Strike. Ooh, was looking for the finger. Not even needed, though. Get the kill on the Jinkyu. They'll take themselves a second. Faith Beyond standing around with his Togemon Treants, but won't be able to do anything.
And with the Catapult Wave here as well, there should be a mid-tier 1. Obviously, there's the ET to worry about a little bit, but they can go for this.
Might be tough if he could slow it down.
They're going to maybe be able to just about defend it, and I assume they're going to deny the tier 1 as well. So, well played by LGD. And 23 Savage is finding his way back into the game here as well. Like, he's managed to get a little bit of space to farm up again. And we've seen how quickly this Clinks hero can farm. Yeah, it is pretty scary.
Spectre, Echo, Ags. And that Ag's looking to jump the back lines. Again, having another jump with this presence of Bat Rider and Nature's Prophet as well as the Monkey King really can make things difficult for this side of T1.
Not what I would have expected. Nomad's going to be bursting with joy at the fact that Spectre's building an Aghanim's, because this is something that he's been trying to make work for ages, even when it's been really bad. But yeah, I guess they're just doubling down on the effect that they want to be able to get to that backline, like you're saying, and find these pickoffs around the map with the high mobility that they have.
Yeah.
I think Manta has such high value on this hero, though. I'm surprised he's going... Like, I like the Ags in general, but I think as a second item, it surprises me.
Bottom lane, they have found themselves Whitemon. He'll try to TP out. Balance Strike is ready, though, from Jinkyu. They'll get the kill on a Whitemon. Y gets credit with another one. He's 2-0-1.
Oh. West Smasher says, they're my creeps. Sorry.
And he takes another one. The Hellbear Smasher was leveling up after all those CS. I haven't used Finger of Death just yet. They do have the double burst damage with the Laguna and the Finger. They're going to go to the Haunt now. Let's see who he's going for. It's going to be 23. They've got the Balance Strike from a distance. Faith Beyond gets credit for the kill onto 23. And now they'll look for Zephyr, who stands in the Earth Splitter from Y. And Jinkyu gets himself a kill. It's another pairing for the side of LGD that they'll take.
Yeah, they could just offer so much like kill threat and aggression on the map. Anybody who walks around by themselves on T1 have to be careful. You would like to see them pair up here. You see Whitemon kind of walking around by himself a little bit, going to stack some Ancients, but I'd worry that they need to make sure they can defend these Ancients, right? They don't have the best Ancient takers. I mean, Clinks is okay, obviously, with the new AoE, but... He's actually
trying to take it now?
well on the Spectre.
Yeah.
I guess he can disassemble the Echo Saber into the Axe as well. Makes sense. Yeah, and they are going to get the Ancient steps.
Yeah,
okay.
the Maelstrom with the Burning Barrage really helps out.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? But it's not, it's not massively quick. It is quick, but...
And there it is again. It gets much quicker with the Burning Barrage, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely wouldn't have done it before that before that change. But they haven't really stopped the Spectre from farming at all on T1. And you remember what the panel was saying before, that the Spectre will give so much information with the Horn, and if it's able to get onto these squishy backliners in the Lina and the Clinks, they do die really easily. I'm assuming after the Axe he'll go for some like Manta Skadi or something, and the Skadi against the 2 ranged cores is going to be so effective.
I'd love to see anything. Like, just go wild in your build.
Yeah. Jinkyu and Innocence are so rich as well on the supports. I think that's where most of the difference comes from.
You've got Jinkyu just farming top. He's got the Primal Spring only level 1, though.
Dire are scanning.
It's usually a big help when you've got that level 4 and you're able to just Primal Spring these creep waves. Arena down, Jowie caught with the spear. They've got the Earth Splitter in the sweep on a 2, but the finger comes in with the Earth Spike from Zephyr. 4 heroes in. Now Jinkyu looking to land that Wukong's as well as Balance Strike, but they've got the Guardian Angel, and the Laguna Boy comes down onto Y. Dragon Slave follow up with one more right click from Cuckoo, gets themselves a second, could be a third.
Goodness,
Jinkyu surviving, doing a lot of damage. Kills off Zephyr, looks over at Whitemon. Carl goes down, and Cuckoo is next. 4 heroes are gonna fall here on T1. Jinkyu making it happen himself, basically, to start, and then get some follow-up help from Zhao 8 and Faith Beyond.
All of a sudden, he's just level 10 as well. I think that was so sick by him. He gets the Jingu stack charges up so that he hits 4, waits for the Guardian Angel to end, so he gets the full lifesteal onto, like, I think it was 2 heroes, maybe 3.
Let's watch it again.
I mean, this looks really good for T1, right? Like, they find these... LGD are trying to find these, like, pickoffs, but T1, like, read the play really well. And they desperately want to finish this ET off, but the Monkey King's the hero that's going to cause big damage. You see, he waits for that GA to finish,
3.
Instantly gets the lifesteal, and the Wukong's just doing so much damage.
Faith Beyond had come in, and then they had Zhao 8 a little bit late there. Lasso comes down into Cuckoo, and they're going to kill him off again. All of a sudden, a 4K lead and a top of the net worth Spectre with that Ags, using that Shadow Step to come in.
And Jinkyu's like almost doubling up the net worth of Zephyr at 17 minutes on the POS 4s. Like, that's ridiculous.
Automatos from Faith Beyond. They've got Zhao 8 here. Help get this kill on a Zephyr.
Is he going Glipnir on the Prophet? It looks like he is.
Yeah, he is. And then Monkey King's going to Fusel. So Shinkyu's going to be kind of going into this pseudo cosplay 4-core.
And it looks like, I think that was Orchid queued up on the Spectre as well.
Oh boy, they caught him. But now again, Amit going in with the Shadow Step will have the Haunt to follow it up. They'll look for the LSA, but that's only going to be an illusion. He's jaunting and jiving around as he's going for 23. They've got the dust onto the Clinks. They're going to try and catch him. And another Quelling Blade Earth Splitter forcing 23 over to the side, but they've got the Arena coming down that saves the Clinks as well as Carl on the Lina. They get the kill on the Jinkyu, but now, what else can they get? The sweep comes in from Y. They have the Rod of Atos on a Cuckoo. They're not going to follow this up with anything more. That was Shadow Step and Haunt looking to get a kill here. Spectral Dagger thrown forward. Zhao 8's a little bit too far in, but behind them is Faith Beyond. They'll get the kill on Carl. They're going to look over the rest. They look over 23, but the spear's going to land onto the Nature's Prophet. They get the kill on 23 as the sleep hits on the 2. Zephyr can only stand and watch as they've got the Glaive here. They'll throw it onto these 2 heroes of Whitemon and Cuckoo and kill them both off. 4 heroes down on the side of T1. Long drawn out, but eventually a victory there for LGD.
I mean, in these really scrappy games where there's so much, like, early fighting going on, this Spectre Axe is actually doing huge amounts of work. My goodness. I mean, 23 Savage is doing a really good job of trying to, like, delay the fight as much as possible, right? Like, he gets away from the stomp, manages to slowly get out, but without the Clinks, their damage output is so limited. Oh, and the Shadow Step.
It's so good. Zephyr's gone, and another kill for Ame.
And when he gets this Orchid, like, we've talked about the pick-off potential from LGD all game. Like, they have catch from the Prophet now because of the Atos as well. So, like, any combination of 2 heroes kills anybody on T1.
Top tower is under attack.
Which is an absolutely terrifying thought, really, if you're a T1 fan.
There's the Orchid for Ame.
And what's their play to the Orchid? Like, they have Heavenly Grace on the Omni, but if the Omni's ever running in to cast Heavenly Grace or something, I think he's dead this game.
Well, if he's in Vision, he's getting Shadow Stepped on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's #1 target for LGD.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Someone shows mid.
Yeah.
Dead.
And there's the Shadow Step with Faith Beyond using that Wrath of Nature. And now they're going to look for more. Cuckoo going to use that arena, but the Wukong's command comes in. The Ear Splitter flies through. Gleipnir onto Cuckoo. They'll get the kill onto the Mars.
I think, did he just BOT on the Batrider to a Nature's Prophet tree as well? It's really nice.
Dire's
Yeah.
bottom tower is under attack.
They cannot feel safe anywhere on the map right now on
Are
T1.
fortified.
And if you do not feel safe on the map, you're not going to be farming, right?
And there is another Shadow Step, this time on a White Mon. Faith Beyond in for the finishing blow, and he is now on a monster kill streak at 8-0-10.
Something I want to mention as well that Phoeben talked about earlier on the panel, like, when you have the vision for the Haunt, this Wrath of Nature just hits everybody, right? And that spell is absolutely terrifying. Like, I don't think people realize how, like, the last few bounces of that spell does so much damage. I really want to set on for Faith Beyond, but I actually don't think he kills Faith Beyond. Like, he's hoping that he can get a +1 or something, but there's nobody near.
Top lane, Xiao 8 and Jinkyu. Jinkyu does have this Diffusal now. It's crazy because Jinkyu's having such a wild game, and yet Elder Titan has more net worth.
That's
Dire's
true.
top tower
We haven't
is
even really
under
talked about
attack.
Innocence that much, but he's having a great time.
Innocent's going for the 4 staff. They've got Faith Beyond pressuring the top tier 2, and if anybody comes over, well, Xiao 8 and Jinkyu are ready to go. And here they are. Carl, he gets the BKB off, but they've got the lasso inside the Wukong's command. They're going to bring 23 in. Oh, they bring 23 in. Why are they bringing 23 into this? That's right into the Wukongs. He's in so much trouble. They get the Kona White on the take out 23. They look over and separate. It looks like not only a third, but should be a fourth. They'll lose Xiao 8 in the process. Cuckoo, the fact that he's got the arena allows him to walk out. LSA hits on Faith Beyond. Is he going to lose the undead streak? The Laguna barely does anything. It doesn't scratch the surface. Cuckoo now slowed up by the Diffusal Blade of Jinkyu. They'll chase him down, and eventually, if the Jinkyu procs, Cuckoo will die, and it's looking likely that it'll do so. Although Jinkyu going back and forth and kind of playing with his food a bit, allowing Cuckoo to blink out. He was one shot from dead. I'm surprised he didn't finish him.
No, he didn't have the range, unfortunately. No Boundless up either, because he tried to use it on the Lina before and missed. It happens, but I appreciate T1 bringing the clicks over. I know you're saying about, like, you know, why is he here and stuff, but honestly, if they lose that fight, I think the game's pretty much over if it's not already, right? So they need to bring everything they can to potentially try and win it, even if it's like, you know, if they have a 2% chance of winning that fight and a 1% chance of winning the next fight, they might as well take the biggest chance they have.
Yeah, I think just the tough thing is you're going right into the Wukongs.
Yeah, yeah.
Would it have been better for him to, say, TP into the tier 3 and fight?
Yeah, potentially, but I don't... It probably wouldn't have made a huge difference, honestly. He probably clicked without really looking first.
12k lead here for LGD. Spectre Manta next.
What's nice is seeing this Spectre do so well with a different kind of build as well. Like, it's not the standard Spectre build, but it shows that there are different alternatives, that, you know, the way you can play this hero. I'm a little bit worried about any gank coming through here, so just hiding in the trees. Xiao 8's doing the same. They know there's something up.
Xiao 8, he doesn't have a lot of kills, but he's 1-5 and 16, so 17 of 24 kills he's been involved in, really putting the pressure on. He's helping with that lockdown, helping with anything he can. And arena use.
It's like we said before, the Xiao 8's kind of the POS 3. Like, if you look at Faith Beyond's net worth in the game, like we said, he can scale, so Xiaowei having less net worth doesn't really mean like that the game plan's not going well, right?
Yeah.
He started mid, but yeah, doesn't really play out that way.
And that's going to be the haunt committed for this. Left near, White Mon, he's caught for a second. They've got the Flame Break to push him back into the lasso, so they have the connection to get this kill onto this Omni.
Do they see
Spectre
23
back
Savage
down
as well?
towards bottom. They've got to assume that somebody's nearby, right?
I think they know he's down here somewhere.
Ooh.
Or they see him. Oh my god, they caught him with the dagger. Is he?
He's out of vision now.
Oh, they brought Dust with the Prophet, but
Radiant are scanning.
oh god, he's so scared.
He's still sticking down here, though.
Yeah, nice play by 23 Savage to keep himself alive though. Last minute, ballet shoes turns the other way. Yeah, I mean he's staying down there because he's so scared to walk anywhere. He doesn't know where to go because he doesn't know where they have vision or anything now.
Surrender to the omniscience.
So what's the way back in here?
Oh, don't ask me
for
that question.
T1?
Oh god,
I got to. I get told that I should ask it more.
how do they get back into the game? It's a fantastic question. I mean, the Omni ult is a big deal, right? If they can get a good GA off it, like, it negates the damage from, like, the Wukongs, for example. They don't have a huge amount of magic burst on LGD. And they need to try and find a way of, like, who do you even kill first on the LGD side? They effectively have 4 cores. I think if they can kill Faith Beyond, it would be huge, but it's so difficult.
He hasn't died once, so it is very difficult.
Like, once
And they're
they get
going
the
in a
Scardy
rush.
on-
Radiant's
Once they get the
bottom
Scardy on the Clinks, maybe they can kite around a little bit, but yeah, again, they're so far behind. He does have the Scardy now, okay.
Faith Beyond, Ame, Jin QY, all here.
Radiant's bottom tower.
You'd have some Togemon helping him out, but now they'll get themselves the Aegis into the hands of Ame, who's always ready to make a jump with the Shadow Step and the Haunt. 2 options to really dive in, and they're going to dive on in, going in here. 423, they've used the Haunt, they'll get the kill, and, well, he's without buyback.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if at any point this game T1 are holding on to gold for buyback. It's like the game yesterday that we were casting, that you're so far behind that you need all the net worth you can to try and win fights. Right?
Where Ame wasn't holding buyback, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he was once the buyback from Zhao 8 was used when he was playing with Shrek.
They
Spear
find
hits
it,
on a
this
line.
is
They've
great.
got the finger, and now the lasso comes out onto the Mars, and they're going to go to the back lines with this. They've got Faith Beyond going through with Ame. They've got the Hex out onto the Spectre, but they'll look over at Carl. They're trying to get this kill here onto the Lina with the BKB TP out. He'll escape, but the arena is down, and now Cuckoo trying to survive, but he's chased down by Ame, who is now unstoppable. 3 heroes dead on the side of T1 as they had killed 23 earlier. They do end up losing Innocence, but that's not really gonna stop them from moving in on mid.
Nice play by Ame as well. They basically, instead of focusing the Omni down, he just runs in, orchids him, and then they focus everybody else. Like, Lina only survives by the skin of her teeth by the TP out. And it's just a different kind of way of dealing with Omni, where normally we see it get run down first all the time. They don't need to this game. And that's a mind breaker for Spectre. Good stuff.
Mindbreaker, have that silence and the Orchid.
Oh, Zhao 8 has the gem now as well, so they're even going to start to lose vision.
Which basically means if anybody shows and the Shadow Step is on you, First Strike silences you for 1.75, then you've got the Orchid that's going to silence you. So you've basically effectively got 7 seconds worth of silence. If we're rounding up here.
Yeah, and if you look at the minimap, like, T1 don't see anything. They literally see nothing, right? So they have to leave the base altogether if they're going to go anywhere. While LGA are, like, just controlling so much more of the map. There's no rush for them to finish if they don't want. They can just carry on looking for pickoffs and find these slow objectives. Yeah, I think the main way they throw this game on LGD is if they try and push this high ground too early.
And there it is. Forcing the BKB, and now, ooh, they've got the Sprout.
No.
He actually blinks into the Sprout, and this is a problem for T1. They're all here. The Guardian Ninja is going to come out with Jowie going in with the BKB. They've got themselves the last one that comes into the Omni Knight. Ame looking for a target. They'll get the kill on Whitemon. Now they'll look for the rest. Arena down, Spear hits on a Faith Beyond, but that's only taking him out of the fight for a second. Cuckoo, he's silenced. He'll TP out. All they get so far is Whitemon, but Zephyr looking like the next one to fall. Gleipnir is used, and they'll lose both supports on the side of T1. All 5 heroes were there, and that was potentially devastating. But they somehow hold on, and by hold on, I mean they escape.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Are they going to go for this straight away on T1?
They're going to go through
Wait, has no
Gleipnir
BKB.
onto 2. Manta, Ame might lose this Aegis. The rest of the team is kind of far away from him, so do they have the ability to save Ame? LSA is going to come through, and they've got the damage to get this kill on Ame.
Wow.
They're taking out the Spectre, well done by T1, and a little bit of just leaving their carry alone for the moment.
They want
And they're
more,
still
though.
going for Faith Beyond. They want to kill him for the first time this game as they've taken out Ame for the first time. He's now 6-1 and 14. Earth Splitter coming through. 23 trying to fight with BKB pop by Jinkyu. Now they've got the Wukong's command down. 23's run in too far. Oh, man. Balance strike on it, too. They've got the BKB pop by Xiaowei. The Gleipnir's going to lock up the other 2 heroes on the side of T1, and this is going to go awfully for them. Whitemon, Zephyr, Cuckoo, all gone. 4 heroes dead on the side of T1. They've chased too far. They've overplayed their hand.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't end up going well for them, but I think they have to try and take that fight while there's no Spectre, right? Like, the thing is, Ame has buyback as well, so even if the fight looks like it's close, he can just buy back and come back into the game if he really wants, but if they'd have caught Faith Beyond originally before he hits that high ground, it would have been fine, but they, unfortunately for the Clinks, he runs up into a sentry, right? It's kind of like, oh, there's an ET here waiting now.
So he was ready with the Earth Splitter, and we've seen Innocence kind of preemptively throw that Earth Splitter knowing what's following it up.
Oh, they have
Flame
the last one to
Glasso, this would finish the wipe. Boundless Strike, Flame Break, the control is there. Carl gone for 80 seconds, no buyback.
That wasn't too right.
Because it's kind of like what we said before, right? That bot fight. If they have a 2% chance of winning that, but a 1% chance of winning the next fight, you always take the 2%. So, yeah, it doesn't work, but they're not spoiled for choice at the moment, unfortunately. They just kind of take what they can get.
Always a fan of the 2%. Good milk.
Are scanning.
21,000 net worth lead here for LGD, and Lena's trying to get a Silver Edge. You've got 23 trying to get into the BKB and the Daedalus. He has not really had the best game in terms of farming compared to Faith Beyond or Ame. His lane was rough. He lost that tier 1 very early on.
Oh, Whitemon!
Lane break. Oh! Shadow Step to try and catch him, but he just TPs away.
Yeah, good TP. And they didn't
Have
find
the
the ward
ops.
on
There's
LGD.
the arena. They were trying to break this tree on Jinkyu, I believe. They get the kill to Xiaowei, and now they're going to start to right-click on Cuckoo, and that only popped to Jingu. He's able to BKB TP out.
Good pick off for T1. But not sure how much it gets them back into the game. They need to try and get out and... again, it's the whole thing where somebody's dead now, so they need to try and make the most of it if they can.
Right.
What's the cooldown on Shadow Step?
It is not long. It's only 30 seconds.
Ooh, okay.
Bottom lane, Haunt used, committed, and they've got the Boundless Strike. They're going to look over at 23 and get the kill here onto the Clinks. Again, it's just having that Orchid, having the silence once you jump in, making it almost impossible
Well, he has the
to
Cloak
leave.
of Flames on the Spectre, so doesn't
Yeah,
even
so it's
have
not the
mind break
7
anymore.
seconds, now it's 5 seconds.
Shadow Step
And
again.
Shadow Step once more, and this is jumping into the whole side of T1 because they've got Faith Beyond going in with the Gleipnir. They're going to pop the BKB on Carl. Faith Beyond's popped his own BKB as they'll finish off Whitemon, and this is a fight that takes place right by the tier 3 over mid, which could mean that LGD are going to look to take the high ground right after those kills, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll step up.
You have to feel for Tier 1 because it's horrible playing Dota like this, where like everywhere you show on the map, it just feels like you die, right?
Has fallen.
They just have so, like we talked about, they have so much pickup potential. It's so difficult. Lyman's going to buy back, but what a great force.
Interesting. Force staff.
I think
and now they're going to get the lasso out on a Cuckoo.
Was that the leaner force staff? I think they tried to go for 2 separate plays at the same time, where they both would have been really good individually, but they kind of cancelled each other out instead.
They go after the Lina. They've got the Yules up into the air. Carl gonna hit in between the tier 4s, but he is sprouted up. Flame break back and killed off. Now the arena's gonna be around on 4. They've got buyback available on Carl, but Cuckoo already leaving the fight with the BKB being popped by Zhao. They're going to TP right into this one. Whitemon right into the middle of the fray, and he takes about 75% of his health in damage immediately. Gleipnir thrown in. They've got themselves the Wukong's command. Carl steps up for a moment. They get the kill on the Xingqiu. They'll end up losing Cuckoo. They hit the sleep on the 23, and now they're draining the mana away from Faith Beyond, but he is fine with the BKB and the right code's coming away. They'll buy back on all 3 heroes on the side of T1, looking to chase. Faith Beyond not speared up, ends up leaving, and the burning barrage that comes out from 23 is just a miss.
So what you have to respect, the good thing about all these like really strong teams at the moment is they never give up as well. Like it's 30k net worth at 35 minutes, right? And they're still like, we want to try and find a way of coming back into this game, which I think is such a good mentality to have as a team.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to 5-man smoke. They're going to look to make the last-ditch effort play.
I think this is a good idea. They need to try and... Again, it's the whole 5 versus 4 thing.
He's got a BKB, and that is a 9-second BKB that he's taking advantage of. They're going to look for the sweep. That's going to land on a 23. He's woken up a Cuckoo now low. He ends up dying. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds without buyback. They're onto the backlines. They've got Zhao going through with the lasso on the 23. They'll take it the clinks. They've also killed off Whitemon. 3 heroes dead on the side of T1. Make it a 4th and a GG call. We're going to a game number 3 as LGD will take game number 2.
A really solid performance from LGD. I think the laning stage, obviously that top lane, 23 Savage, really having a difficult time at the start of the game. Kind of always playing from behind, and that Spectre just had complete free farm. You know, we saw how the Mars TP'd up to try and help the Clinks, but it means that they leave the Spectre alone to do whatever he wants for a while. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a